sometimes hear politicians say there's no water pollution problem anymore. We've done very well at cleaning up our water. Look, we can even swim in the Halifax Harbor. Now, we would never suggest someone take a politician at their word, but since there's no rivers on fire, and we don't see too many stories about fish kills, they must be right, eh? So, when it comes to water pollution facts, who's all wet and who's got it right? This video is the first of a multi-part series that will splash around in the deep end of the water pollution issue. Before we dive into our pool of water pollution facts, it will be helpful to do a quick review of the different types of water in general. First, we have ocean water, which is right here behind me. The vast majority of water on the planet is salt water, which would be seas and oceans and the odd saltwater lake. We've got fresh water. This is the fresh water in rivers and streams, lakes, and bodies of water. Almost all of this water is drinkable, but there's not a lot of it on the earth. Even the ice caps are considered fresh water. Groundwater. The majority of the planet's liquid freshwater is actually stored in aquifers. It's important to remember that the groundwater pollution is very difficult to treat, and it doesn't just flush out on its own like you would expect salt water or fresh water. Water that enters an aquifer remains there for, on average, 1,400 years. Hey, I think that was our first water pollution fact. I think we should hear some more.
Facts. Bottled water isn't necessarily without contamination. In 1990, bottled water survey was done, and 9 out of every 88 brands didn't make it. Unfact.
1 liter of wastewater pollutes about 8 liters of fresh water.
That's a lot of water.
There's an estimated 12,000 kilometers cubed of polluted water worldwide, which is more than the total amount of water contained in the world's 10 largest river basins at every one moment. Therefore, if pollution keeps its pace, easily the world will reach 18,000 kilometers cubed of fresh water by the year 2050. Around 80% of the pollution in seas and oceans comes from land-based activities. This shows us that humans create a lot of waste. To give you a scale to the amount of water that humans produce in waste, 1 week, a typical cruise ship generates 210,000 gallons of sewage, 1 million gallons of gray water, 37,000 gallons of oily bilge water, more than 8 tons of solid waste, and toxic waste from photo labs and things on board causes a lot of waste.
In the early 1990s, before chlorine, pesticides, herbicides, and other chemicals, cancer was 1 in 50. Now it's 1 in 3. 1 in 2 for men.
For you skeptics out there that say that humans aren't the only polluters, you're somewhat right. Water pollution is contamination of water. So, things like volcanoes and algae plumes, those things all affect water pollution. Nature is intelligent enough to take care of all that. Secondly, we can't really do anything about it. The only thing we can do is change ourselves and the way we treat our beautiful water. As humans, our impact on marine wildlife each year is unbelievable. Plastic in wastewater and coastal areas kills up to 100,000 marine mammals, 1 million seabirds, and countless fish. That is anything but natural. If you do not pay attention to these water pollution facts, there's time where our clean blue planet will become a dirty blue. The dangerous trend of water pollution is starting to affect people worldwide. Due to water pollution, 1.1 billion people lack the adequate and safe water supply that they need for their daily needs. That's approximately 1 in 5. The pollution of fresh water is a problem for about half of the world's population. Each year, there are about 250 million cases of freshwater-related diseases, with roughly 5 to 10 million deaths by diseases caused by the ingestion of water contaminated with diseases, parasites, and bacteria. 20% of the world's freshwater supply is in Canada. Canada also recently banned bulk exports of our fresh water. And there are even problems with water pollution in large western cities. For many years, Halifax, Nova Scotia, did not treat its sewage water and pumped it raw into the harbor. Recently, they had a very, very high-tech sewage treatment plant installed. This sewage treatment plant failed miserably, but a few years later it was fixed, and now they continue to treat their water and pride themselves on having a clean, sustainable ecosystem for marine wildlife.
Clean water is important for life. If we continue to pollute, more and more people will have less and less access to clean, fresh drinking water. It is important that we keep our water clean and pollutant-free so every person on this world can drink fresh, delicious water. Pollutants in water cause cancer, and that's a bad thing. So just remember, don't pollute your water, and do what you can to keep it clean. Water is important for everyday life and comfortable living. Without water, no one would live. So remember, keep it clean.